Whatever we see, whatever we hear, or whether we eat, that gets digested in our body, whether it's the normal temperature of our body, or the blood pressure that gets maintained, or the pattern of our sleep, or the movement of different parts of our body, all of this is controlled by the nervous system. In the nervous system, there are two types of cells. Number one, neurons. Number two, glial cells. In this lecture, the topics we will cover are as follows. First, I will explain what the nervous system is. After that, I will explain the types of the nervous system. Then, we will discuss the normal functions of the nervous system. And finally, we will go over all the parts of the nervous system. So, let's begin. First of all, let's understand what the nervous system is. The nervous system is a part of the organ system in which our brain and spinal cord send messages to the whole body, and all the parts of the body send messages back to the brain. This entire system is known as the nervous system. The nervous system controls all the systems and functions in our body. Let's explore the nervous system through a chart. The nervous system is divided into two types. One is the central nervous system, and the other is the peripheral nervous system. First, we'll look at the central nervous system. Then we'll examine the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system, also called CNS, it has two parts. One is the brain and the other is the spinal cord. The brain is divided into three parts: the forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Now let's move to the peripheral nervous system, which is called PNS. There are two types of PNS. One is the somatic nervous system, and the other is the autonomic nervous system. There are also two types of autonomic nervous systems. One is the sympathetic nervous system, and the other is the parasympathetic nervous system. We will study all these systems one by one in detail. Let's begin with the brain. The brain is the control center of the nervous system. It means the entire nervous system is controlled from here. To protect the brain from injury, it is protected at different levels. The first level of protection is the skull. The second level is the meninges. The third level is the cerebrospinal fluid, CSF. The fourth level of protection is the blood-brain barrier. Brain is protected at four levels. Let's talk about the functions of the brain. All functions of the body are controlled by the brain, such as respiration, blood pressure, digestion, and more. Now let's talk about nerves. Nerves of the brain are called cranial nerves. The brain has 12 pairs of nerves. If you want a detailed lecture on the brain, I've already made a video about it. You can visit my channel to watch it, and I'll provide the link in the description. Now let's study the spinal cord. The spinal cord consists of cylindrical bundles of nerve fibers. All the parts of the body are connected to the spinal cord. The entire system is linked to nerve fibers. The spinal cord contains a total of 31 pairs of nerves. Previously, I have mentioned that there are 12 pairs of nerves, while the spinal cord contains 31 pairs of nerves. Now let's discuss the peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is the lateral part of the nervous system. It connects different parts of the body to the central nervous system. The peripheral nervous system contains two types of nerve fibers. One is afferent nerve fibers, and the other is efferent nerve fibers. Both serve different functions. The afferent nerve fibers carry messages from organs and tissues to the central nervous system. The efferent nerve fibers carry messages from the central nervous system to different organs. Now let's move to the classification peripheral nervous system again. The peripheral nervous system, or PNS, has two types. One is the somatic nervous system, and the other is the autonomic nervous system. The somatic nervous system controls the voluntary functions of our body. These are the functions that we can control by ourselves, like the skeletal muscles in our body. For example, we can move our arms and hands by ourselves. The voluntary actions under our control are governed by the somatic nervous system of the PNS. The functions we cannot control are automatic. These fall under the autonomic nervous system. For example, breathing and digestion. These are functions we cannot consciously control. The autonomic nervous system controls these functions through the PNS. There are two types of the autonomic nervous system. One is the sympathetic nervous system, and the other is the parasympathetic nervous system. Now let's discuss the functions of the nervous system. The first function of the nervous system is to carry signals from the brain to the entire body and to bring signals back from the body to the brain. The exchange of signals and messages in both directions is carried out by the nervous system. The nervous system controls various functions in our body. For example, movement, breathing, how we perceive things, and how we think. In fact, from A to Z, all of our body's functions are controlled by the nervous system. Additionally, the internal environment of our body, which we call homeostasis, includes regulating body temperature. All these functions are controlled by the nervous system. Along with that, our memory, what we call memory and learning, is also controlled by the nervous system. Whether it's the voluntary movements of our body, which we can control, or the involuntary functions, which we cannot control, like respiration, all of these functions are managed by the nervous system. Question of the day. What are the two main organs that form the nervous system? You can answer this question in the comment section below.